Podcast for life.
Doggy Charles. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. The microphone messiah. Yeah. It's the microphone messiah. And Mr. No Days Off. Microphone messiah. Mr. No Days Off. Phil, Brandon, what's good, y'all? Let's go. Bullet Cast host. Look, this is the time for us to be great on podcasts. Let you know this is the time and how the vibe lasts. This is the feeling of time and when we on it. You know we got no time for no opponent, just the feeling. This is the time of the greats on everything that we say. You know we about getting paid.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, the microphone messiah. We are back. We are back to talk the fallout of Elimination Chamber and everything else in professional wrestling. I am joined by the Canadian Destroyer, BT Brandon Tanguma. Marlee will be joining us later on. What's going on, man?
What up? It's been so long since I've talked to Phillip here on said Bulletcast. If you haven't, go check out the Elimination Chamber recap. You know, we gave our thoughts because, you know, no one else is talking about Elimination Chamber. Really a show that went under the radar in terms of coverage, I would say.
Hello. Come on now. Big under the radar. But yeah, no, we're here to talk about things that are happening in this game. Let's go to the script. Let's see what we got here outside the ring. Was there anything else? Oh, there's a lot. Oh, geez. Oh my.
Yeah. Somebody did some additions to the script, you know, in our pre-production meeting that we don't have.
Yes.
AKA, I just go on Wrestling Observer and just look at the news and just type in.
Oh God! Why?
Hey, I'm not. Hey, there's nothing in there that is fake news. Everything in there will be factual. Okay, Phillip.
Oh.
There's no inside information, according to Mr. Meltzer. Which, you know, once again, we've firmly established I'm not a Meltzer guy. I'm a Wade Keller guy.
Oh,
Even though shout out to that Denny's in San Francisco where me and Dave Meltzer both signed our names on the to-go sheet or whatever it's called.
Oh, really?
Yeah, shout out Dave Meltzer.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's another podcast in the world of professional wrestling, Phillip, because there's not enough of them, right?
Right. Yes. WWE's gonna be having yet another podcast go live. I mean, they had the New Day, the Corey Graves, and none of these exist anymore, huh?
I'm the wrong person to ask. The only clip I've seen of the New Day podcast is Big Meaty Men Slapping Meat. I have not watched anything from that podcast.
Let's see. I think Corey Graves was the only one that actually went on for a significant length of time after the bell. Let's go to the old podcast app and see. After the bell with Corey Graves. All right. The last time an episode was released was November 10th of 2023. So
it's been quite a long time. Well, you know, he had a child in between that time.
Yeah.
So.
You can listen to the 200th episode with John Cena. I'm sure he has a lot more different things to say now or not at all. Possibly. But yeah, WWE, they're doing yet another little podcast series. I mean, I think I talked about it last week. Stephanie McMahon is gonna be having her own podcast, so things are going on in the podcast world with World Wrestling Entertainment.
Yeah, TKO just expanding their reach. They're doing like a Raw post show with your boy Sam. Is it who's a part of it? I forget. Is it Sam Roberts or is it Rosenberg? One of those guys is doing it.
They don't all look alike. I mean, I know they look similar now because Sam's bald, but it is Sam Roberts. Shout out Sam. He got to meet Jacob. He got to meet Big Oos. He got the photo. You know, it's Sam Roberts, big Jacob Fatu guy. So
it's only like a 45-minute recap podcast. I don't know what that entails because it is WWE. Is it like a kayfabe podcast? Do they like talk booking or whatever? I don't know what that means. I mean, maybe
I'll take a listen to find out.
I know. Maybe I'll take a listen, see what they're working with, and I'll come back to you next week.
Come on now. Hello. Ray Phoenix. Let's talk about that guy. He's free.
Long winding road. You know, he's out here posting photos inside of an insane asylum with a straitjacket on. And apparently it still worked. And he did allegedly, I don't know if it's official that he got a release yet, but his pictures, likeness has been taken off the AEW roster page, and all signs, as you'd expect, point to him going to WWE, either joining up with, going up against Penta. I don't know. I mean, if you're WWE, Phillip, do you just straight up put Phoenix with Penta?
No, you let Penta kind of ride the singles wave for a little bit. Maybe you know what? Have Ray go to NXT and kind of spice that up. I mean, think about them. They got Ricky Saints, and then they get Ray Phoenix to kind of just liven up that division. I mean, Ray Phoenix versus Wesley, Ray Phoenix versus Obafemi. I mean, that's a match. Ray Phoenix versus who else is down there? I mean, Axiom, Nathan Frazier, just guys like that, just go out there and go out there on the CW, have a good little 10-minute match, just to fill up time, give the fans something to be excited to see, and then you can build him up down there that way, and then or they can put him straight to the main roster. I don't know what they're gonna do, but I think separate him for a little bit, like let Penta have his moment right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really like sold on either which way to present Phoenix and Penta. I mean, you could put them as a tag team, or you can put them singles. Keep them apart for a little bit. I mean, if you're not going to do anything with Dragon Lee, then I would not expect them to do much with Ray Phoenix, unless it is a political ploy to prove Tony wrong and do something with Ray Phoenix because of that. But I mean, I'm going to sit here, and since I can't lead I'm still a part of the Trevor Lee fan club. I'll start the Dragon Lee fan club. If your last name's Lee, I'm your boy. I'm a big fan of you.
Really?
Yep.
And
So
Bruce Lee?
any Lee wrestlers out there, send me your tape. I'll watch it and I'll promote it.
But you just said you're a fan of anybody with the last name Lee, so like Bruce Lee, Jet Lee.
Well, they're not wrestlers. Shout out Brandon Lee, R.I.P. The inspiration to Sting, the Crow. Yep. Well, there you go.
So does it have to be like Lee or Li?
Has to be Lee.
There's restrictions here.
Yeah, Dragon Lee, Trevor
So
Lee.
What if there was a great professional wrestler, but their last name is Li?
Oof. We might have to make an exception, but it's
Wasn't
going to be an
Xia Li,
exception.
wasn't that one?
Hey, shout out Xia Li, respectfully. Unfortunately, she's gone from the company.
She's doing stuff in TNA.
Good for her.
Yeah, Uh, I can't wait to see what Ray Phoenix does if he does go to WWE. I mean, think about it, bro. I mean, in the past 3 years, I mean, Cody, Punk, Jade, Penta, Ricky, and now Ray Phoenix. We haven't even talked about Miro and Aleister Black leaving. I mean, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah, AEW's roster has been bloated for quite some time, and they're finally starting to trim the fat. I mean, there is some talent in there. Unfortunately, that they weren't able to, I think, utilize to the best of their abilities. But I think it is good that they're finally kind of letting some people go, both for their pockets and also, for those wrestlers to kind of go out and do something better.
Yes. How was your Collision experience? Let's talk about it.
Oh, my Collision experience. I mean, Collision. It's a decent show now. I think the show overall, I would say the one we went to a few years ago, was like a week, once again, like a week away from Revolution or Full Gear. Yeah, in 2023. FTR and Undisputed Kingdom, whatever their name is now, that they had a really good match, and that was kind of the highlight of that show. So if you haven't, I definitely will go check that out, the opening match. I was kind of excited to see Dragon Lee, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Cole in their TNT title match, and unfortunately, they wrestled for like 15 minutes. It was fine, and I thought we'd actually get like a real finish and maybe even a title change, but nope. For whatever reason, Adam Cole like interrupted Shane Taylor Promotions like exit, and then at the end of the match, Shane Taylor Promotions came out and then like beat both guys down, and then that's set. So a shit finish. Hate to see that.
Triple threat at Revolution. Boom. There you go.
What else happened? Oh, I was a little disappointed because they kept promoting that we're going to hear from Kenny Omega. So I thought that meant, he's going to do like an in-ring promo. Nope, it was just a pre-tape. So we watched that on the screen. What else? Powerhouse Hobbs in the main event, teaming with Bandito against Keith and Big Bill. That was fine. I mean, like I said, I think the tag match to open Collision was definitely the clear highlight. Everything else was fine. There was like 2,700 people there at the Oakland Arena. Unfortunately, because there's such a small crowd, they barely had any of the vendors open. So all the vendors that were there, the lines were insane. So I couldn't get my chicken tendies. But merch line was empty. They had like the big merch stand, like there's like the little merch stands, but they had like the big main merch stand. There was literally nobody in line during the show.
Jesus Christ. I assume Oracle gave them a great deal. That's why they went there. I don't know, man. Just go. You know, like how New Japan runs the event center in San Jose. I don't know why you just don't do that. All those people would have fit in there, and it would have looked packed.
I will say, you know, they for better or for worse know how to shoot a sparse arena, and they, you know,
Yeah, they've had a lot of experience.
you know, the floor and the section across from the hard cam and a little bit to the left or right, which is where I was sitting. I was sitting more towards the stage. You know, those 3 sections or 4 sections were pretty filled up. So at least you know you focus on that part. They dim the lights towards you know the other end of the arena where there's a little more sparsity. But you know, it is what it is at this point. You know, it's Collision. It's not going to have the marquee names. Or well, that's the other thing is you don't know what you're going to get. Like you can go off of what they promote on TV, but they don't promote anything either.
Was Christian there?
Christian was not there.
I mean,
Moxley did show up, but that was mainly just because of
in-house.
a Wheeler Yuta match.
He showed up in house.
Yeah, he was there.
All right. He's the champ showing up, but no,
that was it. You know, no Copeland, no Jericho, no MJF, Osprey, Omega. Like I said, I thought we were going to see Omega in person, but that didn't happen. But you know.
I mean, when we went, we got Sting, Cope, Darby, and then like a whole bunch of other.
And
guys.
they wrestled.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't want to go to Oakland. Ring of Honor happened. Did you watch any of that?
Also, Okada was there. I thought they flew out Okada just to do one of those intro segments, but no, he actually did come out and attacked Brody King. And then I think they did a backstage segment with Mercedes. It kind of did look like the backstage area of Oakland, but I'm not 100% sure. So she might have just flown out to do a backstage segment, and that was it, which is baffling to me. But you know, whatever.
No, I'm sure they.
But it did. I mean, because I've seen. I know it. Yeah, but I mean, I know what the backstage area, and it looked pretty much like Oakland. So I don't know.
They just had an exact replica. They just have an exact replica of every backstage they've ever been in. And then when it's time to go to that town, the people don't even fly there. They just film it where they are, and then they leave.
It was all green screen. But yeah, ROH, they ROH tapings beforehand and afterwards. A lot of local talent. We had, you know, Alpha Zoe Bullock-cast champion, even though we might not be beefing with them right now, from what I've heard. I don't know, some Sancho Demira guy.
I thought his name was Sancho, not Sancho. That's crazy.
Sancho Demira is out here beefing with them. And
I saw that, bro. That motherfucker, like he broke into that dude's house. Well, he rung the doorbell. The other 2 broke in, and then they assaulted that man in his house and in his garage. It
took the Bullock-cast championship and hit him with it. Just absolutely terrible.
I hope there's no dent on our championship.
I know. Titus Alexander was there.
Shout out Titus.
Whatchamacallit? I'm blanking on what Vinny was there.
Okay, Vinny Massaro, yes.
Let's see, anybody else there? I mean, there probably was some other people that are local.
I mean, Juice was in the backstage pull apart with Mark Briscoe and who was that?
I don't know. I didn't watch. Once again, I left a little early. I don't know how much longer they did ROH tapings, but
no, this was on Collision, right?
Well, the pull apart. They I don't think they had a pull apart. They just did a thing with Big Boom AJ, and then we did one of those dumb Mark Briscoe promos with Orange Cassidy and Big Justice and AJ.
Were they there?
They were not there. That was a clear backstage segment that they taped beforehand because it was just in front of like a steel garage door. Unfortunately. And I couldn't tell if the people were booing them or booming them, which I guess is probably good for their brand because you can never tell which one it is. Yeah, we get the in between Tony Khan promo when they're when they're changing the ring skirt from Collision back to ROH. Oh, thank you guys.
They've been having a good time here in Oakland.
Oakland's a great city. Who was here in Revolution 2023? Yeah, this. This is definitely not the last time we're gonna be here in Oakland. Yeah.
Was Revolution 2023 like their last great pay-per-view?
Probably not. I mean, they have really good in-ring. That's the thing with AEW. You can shit on their television product and their booking and everything, but when it comes to the pay-per-views,
Yeah, no,
They get
they
it
do.
done. And I mean, Revolution this year seems to be very stacked in ring
It
wise.
does.
It's going to be a long ass show because there's like, I don't know, 10 matches, it feels like, but almost every one of them are going to bang.
Um,
I didn't put the ER at the end. Well, that's going to, don't take that out of context, people, when I pause.
pause is right. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see what else we got. AEW Amazon pay-per-view deal.
Speaking of pay-per-views, everyone's waiting for that Max AEW pay-per-view deal or whatever to come through, but not yet. Not yet, folks. You still got to pay full price, but there's a different way you can pay it. You can go on Amazon Prime and get your AEW pay-per-views that way. I will not be partaking because Thriller TV still does the two-pack where you save $15, so you pay for two pay-per-views and you get it for $85 instead of two for $100. So I'm still going to go that route if you want. But if technically speaking, it's easier for you to go to Amazon Prime, there's another way for you to do it.
Hello. There you go. Let's see what else we got. AJ Styles says he'll retire before he's 50. Yes, listen to the Chris Van Vliet interview. He talked about a lot of things. Yeah, doesn't want to wrestle at 50. Wants to be 49. So the day before his 50th birthday, if there's a show, he's calling it a career.
Currently, AJ is 47.
We'll be 48 in June.
So, a year and a half, a little less than 2 years.
The
More of
phenomenal
AJ
one.
Styles.
Get ready to fly.
He's clearly slowing down. He's not the AJ he was 10, 15, 20 years ago, obviously, but
But he's still phenomenal.
he's still phenomenal. He can, get it done when he wants to, but he's not put in a position to kind of, have any of those like spectacular matches anymore. So
You just forget, man. Just like, I mean, he was in TNA for what, 11 years and then Japan for like a year and a half. And then he's been in WWE for almost 10. Crazy.
yeah. So I don't know what the future holds for AJ because he's a star, but he's not like a big deal in WWE. So maybe he'll get like one little farewell run, but I wouldn't expect him to get the John Cena treatment, obviously.
Well, I mean, he used to beat up John Cena. Never forget.
Never forget. Sticking to podcasting,
Yeah.
we got we talked about this a week or two ago, and finally this podcast is going to be released on Friday. But we did get a teaser of Carmella. What is this podcast called? It's like the Barely Famous podcast, and she they released a preview, and it seems like Carmella not very happy with her WWE release. She said that she kind of feels ghosted from the company, and she feels like she was punished for having a child. So we're kind of seeing a theme here. I don't know if it's just the women, but Sonya Deville came out and said the same thing of like we thought we were on the right track and going to do something, and then just out of nowhere gets the release. So, TKO is a cutthroat company. We've seen this. If you follow UFC, you saw this with UFC and TK or Endeavor. They're kind of doing the same thing now with WWE of not hardballing the talent and maybe not paying them, not giving them the increases that they think they deserve, and also from the backstage or office jobs. There's rumblings that they're not getting any bonuses or anything, while the company touts record profits and the biggest gate in WWE Canadian history, while the pencil pushers over there in Connecticut aren't seeing any of that hard work pay off for them.
I don't know, man. I saw Sonya Deville said that Vince McMahon rented her a house, when she was going through that thing with the stalker.
Well, you could be a bad person, but you don't always do bad things.
I don't know. It sounds like oh no. I don't know. This TKO. I mean, they took over and things are. I don't know.
Also, TKO said that we still might be getting WWE on the cock. So while everyone internationally, everything is on Netflix, seems like us US people may still have to get Peacock and Netflix to watch our wrestling.
Well, I mean, I already have both, but Peacock, they've basically gotten it to where the network once was, where everything's like really in sections and order now.
And I'm going to say it once again, Netflix, it's been 2 months now, over 2 months. Why the fuck can I not watch every single episode of Monday Night Raw?
Because you have to have Peacock for that.
I was stuck on the 2000 Royal Rumble, and I can watch the Raw after the 2000 Royal Rumble, but then it's like a 4 month gap, and then it's like a 10-year gap after that. I understand technologically it's not as easy as a cut and paste, but there should be some way you can put every episode of Raw from Peacock and move it over to Netflix. I don't understand why that's the case. Just
Well,
pisses
it's
me off.
NBC, and then it's legalities, and
Oh.
it's a lot. Prime daytime streaming compared to just regular international streaming. It's a lot. It's a lot. You know. I'm making all this up. I don't know what's going on over there. Let's see what else we got. Dun, 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 dun. We'll go inside the ring. Natalya is going to be going to GCW and the NWA. Natalya WrestleMania weekend will be in Bloodsport, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport, and then she's gonna go make a trip with the Crockett Cup, the NWA. Natty getting out of the WWE a little bit. Hey,
Yeah, I heard the GCW one a couple days ago, but the NWA one I did not know about. Shout out Natty. They're doing like something with her and Maxine Dupree. I don't know. It's the typical Triple H. They're in the background of other segments. This has been going on for I feel like a few months now at this point. But Natty is, even though she might not be pushed to any degree in WWE, she's still very talented in the ring, and I wonder
absolutely.
how her heart, dungeon style could translate to a blood sport. I would love to see that match.
I mean, I'm probably gonna try to pull up to that because that looks like that's gonna be crazy. What's up, Brandon? Let's go to Bloodsport. Let's go see it. No, I met Josh Barnett once.
I mean, I'd love to go see a blood sport.
Let's go. Come on.
Well,
come on.
I don't think WrestleMania is on the table this year.
You don't have to go to WrestleMania. Go to WrestleMania week.
I have not been plugged in to what's been going on WrestleMania weekend.
WrestleMania, bro.
I used to be so plugged in, and then ever since the pandemic happened, I just have not. I do not know what's going on.
Let's go to. How about? Will you go to New Orleans?
Maybe. I would love to go. Honestly, as much as it's easier to go to Las Vegas, I would much rather go to New Orleans because that seems like a fun place. And not just the drinking in the Bourbon Street, but there's a lot of culture and stuff over there as well.
We'll see. They have great culture. Homicide's retiring. Outlaw Wrestling on the 20th of this month. He's calling it a career.
Yeah, another long-time wrestler, finally calling it a career. What? He's been doing it for 20 plus years now at this point. So, not surprising, but good for him.
I love Homicide. LAX, great guy. Sean Spears is the new North American champ.
Ooh, look at that. AEW NXT, baby.
Another guy that left AEW. Now he's getting his just due. He's a champion over here, baby. You know why? Because he's a perfect 10.
So I'm not super locked in on NXT, if you guys can't tell, but he's leading some sort of faction over there, so it's not like it's just out of nowhere. There's definitely a little bit of momentum over there, and he beat Tony D'Angelo, right?
Yes. How you doing, Tony D'Angelo? Yeah.
See, at least I know the champions over there. But yeah,
really, who are the tag team champions?
That would be Axiom and Nathan Frazier.
Who are the women's tag team champions?
That would be. There's no NXT tag team champions anymore. So technically, that would be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
You see. Oh, must see. Okay. Who's the Heritage Cup winner?
That would be Brian Pillman Jr.
Come on now. Hello. This is Lexus King.
It's Brian Pillman Jr.
It's Lexus King. Hey. You can't be you have to go by the name, man.
Stephanie Vaquer, North American Women's Champion, and Julia is the Women's Champion. See, I might not be locked in, but I'm tapped in.
They announced the DLC. They're going to be in it in the new game that's coming up.
New Jack's going to be in it for some reason.
What do you mean some reason?
I mean, it was just kind of random that New Jack's in a wrestling.
Didn't they do an ECW pack last year? Why wasn't he in that one?
Legalities and stuff.
Yeah,
the New Jack estate needed the adequate amount of resources.
Yeah, Penta's going to be in it. Psycho Sid, Victoria, somebody we've met.
Yep, choked me out at the Cow Palace.
Same here, brother. Hello. I think that photo's
had to pay for it though, but it's okay. It was worth it.
I think that photo's on my IG somewhere. But yeah, they got all that going on. We're gonna throw it over to Marlee so she can give her thoughts on Monday Night Raw.
Monday's Raw gave us the fallout from Saturday's Elimination Chamber, starting with a very passionate promo from a very irate CM Punk. And if it was me, and if I was that close to a WrestleMania main event and Seth Rollins came and curb stomped me to the point where Cena steals the win from me, I would be irate too. Probably his best promo or the best promo of 2025. Granted, we're still in the first quarter. We got the rest of the year. But I would put that in a top contender for promo of the year. And that led into a brawl between Seth and Punk that lasted until maybe the middle of the episode, until Adam Pearce finally came out, put the hammer down, and said, look, you guys are going to end this in a steel cage next Monday in Madison Square Garden, which I'm not mad at. I was going to say save it for a pay-per-view, but I don't know. The Netflix era is moving different. So I feel like that is a Netflix era type of match. So I'm not even mad about that. We had Otis versus Gunther after that, which Gunther got the win. Jey Uso came out after just to get knocked down by A-Town Down Under, which led to a promo from Jey later in the night. And, I'm kind of rallying behind Jey. I know people have mixed feelings about him winning the Rumble and getting his WrestleMania shot, but they've been calling him main event Jey Uso, and I feel like he's living up to that title. He wouldn't be main event Jey Uso if he was not constantly in the main event or not main event material. And that's what we're seeing right now. I feel like he's truly proving that he's earned his spot, and you can't even really be mad at the guy for it. We had Women's Intercontinental Championship match between Lyra and Ivy Nile, and I wish I could care about it, but I don't really care about Ivy Nile or American Made as a whole, because without Chad Gable, they don't really do anything for me. So as much as I like Lyra and was happy that she won, I couldn't really lock into that match like I wanted to. We had a tag team championship match between War Raiders and the Creed brothers, and again, same thing like I just said. I don't really care for the Creed brothers and Ivy Nile, American Made without Chad Gable. But War Raiders, I'm liking them more that they've stepped away from the Viking gimmick. I could actually, I don't know, some gimmicks, it's hard to take wrestlers seriously. But since they've dropped the Viking gimmick, I've been able to take them a little bit more seriously. And then we had a little vignette with Chad Gable as he went to Mexico to try and learn the lucha arts. And then Judgment Day is now targeting Braun Breaker, which, I don't know, I feel like AJ Styles should be going after Braun Breaker instead of the Judgment Day. That's just me, because I feel like AJ Styles can do so much more than calling out Logan Paul next Monday, but, to each their own. I don't work there. And then finally we have the Women's World Championship between Rhea and Io. And Io, shockingly, won clean. I wasn't expecting Rhea to drop the title on a Monday night, but that's what we get on the road to WrestleMania. Shocks, surprises abound. And I'm not even mad at the decision, because like I've been saying, I wouldn't be upset if it was a triple threat between Rhea, Io, and Bianca. I wouldn't be upset if it was Rhea and Bianca. I wouldn't be upset if it was Bianca and Io at Mania. Any of those three options is pliable, valuable. So whichever way they end up going for that Mania match, I'm with it.
Thank you, Marlee Mar. All right, Monday Night Raw kicks off with the Second City Saint, the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk, coming out here dropping a damn diss track on Dwayne and John Cena. Talk about how, they don't show up to work. I don't need a fake title to be the people's champion. Coming here slapping your arm with your bullshit. And John, you sold out. I'm going to see you down the road. You guys have no idea what you've done. Then he tells Becky to come get her husband. Rollins' music hits and they just brawl, brawl, brawl. They get to the backstage, they brawl again. Adam Pearce says next week in the Garden, y'all are going to finish it steel cage match. What are your thoughts?
I thought the Punk promo was phenomenal. Maybe the best WWE Punk promo we've seen in his new run. I always say pissed off Punk is way better than happy Punk, and he definitely was pissed off Punk here. And I thought his, just spewing venom at anyone he wanted, Rollins, Rock, Cena. And I mean, literally, Cena and Punk is kind of the only feud I'm really excited to see with the heel Cena. Just having the roles reversed and Punk can just go on the old "I told you so" train. But yeah, the even though we're gonna go down this Punk and Rollins road, and presumably Roman will get added to the mix later on down the line as well. Good intensity, and the match next week at the in the cage. Like I said, I don't know if Roman's going to show up, and that we're going to get a no contest, a DQ finish in a cage match. But I'm expecting that almost to where
I think Roman shows up and spears Rollins and drags Punk on top of him.
So Punk gets the win, but but then like presumably we're getting the triple threat match at WrestleMania. So I just don't know. I don't know. They'll figure it out. They're smarter than me.
Yeah, the game's got it. We don't know, brother. We don't know what's going on with WrestleMania. We have a new women's world champion. I mean, did you see this coming?
I did not see this coming. I was wondering. I didn't talk about this the Elimination Chamber recap, but after Belair's Chamber win, they brought out Rhea, and then Io shows up later, and I'm like, oh, why did they do that? It's like a bad visual. Why didn't they just have Rhea and Bianca do a stare down?
Well, because
Well, now we know it's because Rhea and because Io is going to be the champion, and it's probably going to be a triple threat match.
Well, no, I mean you do it because Io was guaranteed a title match after the Chamber, so you bring both of them out like you don't know who you're going to face, and then this happened, and I guess Rhea's never beaten Io. That streak continues.
4-0.
Huh?
4-0.
That's crazy, bro. I mean, we thought this was guaranteed. We thought we were going to get the match that we've all been kind of clamoring for and waiting for. This just kind of throws a monkey wrench in it. Congratulations to Io Sky. Now she's a Grand Slam champion in WWE. That's crazy, man. We could do triple threat, I guess.
Well, it's just like I thought the match was good. Rhea, I don't know what they're doing with her character because like Rhea, like obviously took her eye off the ball. She was kind of complaining after the fact, like throwing like a little bit of a temper tantrum, and you got no one to blame but you, Rhea. So I don't know what you're pissy about. And Io, she's a fun-loving character. People really enjoy her. I think Rhea's more. I think she's still like the third most popular person in this trio outside, unless Bianca does turn heel with the Jade stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. But like we talked about the Elimination Chamber, like we don't see anybody other than Bianca being able to face Rhea. So like if Rhea is not involved in this, I just don't know where else she goes. So that's why I assume it's going to be a triple threat match.
What did I say all those months ago? She wrestles Dom at WrestleMania. Oh, it's probably going to be a triple threat.
Yes, and what would that be? This one to be a triple threat, Punk, Rollins, and Roman would be a triple threat. I feel like we're on the
WrestleMania
verge
2000. Just hella triple threats.
No singles matches at all. The entire card, 2 nights, no singles matches.
The only singles match we get is Cody and John.
Well,
you throw A-Town Down Under in there with Jay and Gunther. It's a fatal 4-way.
Well, Phillip, do you know what the pop quiz time? Do you know what the only WrestleMania 2000 singles match was?
It was X-Pac, right?
No, I believe it was an evening gown match.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
Was it Tori or was it the Cat?
Let's see. I just need to get the exact participants if I can get on here. Here we go. That's a cat fight between Terry Reynolds and the Cat, and that lasted 2 minutes and 24 seconds.
I got half of it right. The
there
Cat.
You go.
Not Terry Reynolds. Jesus Christ. Oh man. Yeah. Probably going to be a triple threat. That's the only other thing I can see going on. And then Gunther puts Jay asleep. Gunther and Otis are having a decent match. Gunther does what he does. Power bombs Tozawa onto Otis. Is about to power bomb Otis onto Tozawa. Jay's music hits. He comes down there, slides in, gets to work. A-Town Down Under comes out to help out. They get super kicked or whatnot. All in all, Gunther puts Jay to sleep.
Yeah, I think overall the Tozawa match I think probably worked better than the Otis match. I just think the people kind of got more involved in the idea of Tozawa upsetting Gunther quickly. But yeah, we talked about how are they going to fill 2 months worth of TV time, and obviously Gunther's going up against Alpha Academy, and now Jay is going up against A-Town Down Under. I don't know what Gunther does now because he beat both of them, unless he's going to face him off in a handicap match. But or Maxine Dupree laces up the
Probably a
boots and takes on.
6-person, do a 6-person tag, A-Town Down Under and Gunther versus Jay and Alpha Academy.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. That can kill another 2 to 3 weeks of TV time before we get into, late March, and then we can really get into the WrestleMania build.
Oh, we're not in it. We're not really in it now.
Well, I mean John Cena. We're not in it until John Cena shows up, which is gonna be in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Or does he surprise us at the Garden?
We're gonna get the trumpets, and then it's gonna be like Def Rebel like distortion, and then like slows down.
It's gonna be like this. I'm a bad man. It's a bad plan. Yeah, something like that. Let's go to Brandon. He's gonna be by himself for this AEW talk. Yeah.
All right, let's get into AEW. So instead of just doing like Dynamite recap and then doing Revolution, we'll just do the Revolution recap. Phillip, where'd you go? Oh, okay. I guess he just had to go off and do something. So it's just me for now. We'll see if maybe Phillip comes back and chimes in on the AEW stuff. But this is going to take place, Revolution that is, will take place on Sunday, March 9th from Los Angeles, live from the Crypto.com Arena, or the Staples Center, as it should forever be called. So yeah, we'll kind of sprinkle in some TV thoughts with the preview because we got 10 matches on this card, 9 on the show proper, and we all know there's probably going to be some random ass, pre-show matches thrown in. But the official pre-show or 0 hour match is Big Boom AJ taking on, or with the conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Mark Briscoe taking on Johnny TV, Mansoor, and Mason Madden. Mansoor and Mansay, I forget what their names are. But anyways, it's a trios match. They did a little bit of build on Collision. It's just basically to get the Costco guys up there. Who knows if the Rizzler will show up? Hopefully he does, but baby faces will win here. AJ will do his thing. Hopefully he doesn't hurt his ankle in this match like he did in the last one, but it's just a straightforward pre-show match. Get the baby faces a win, get the crowd into it, and start the show off with some happiness. Then we get the latest match to be added to the card. That'd be the AEW Continental Championship match. Kazuchika Okada and Brody King. This was mainly set up on Collision last week, where they had a little interaction backstage, and then Kazuchika Okada beat up on Brody King after a Julia Hart match. They also had a tag match on Dynamite tonight with them in the main event with Swerve and Ricochet as well. Once again, should be a good match. I would suspect Okada just beats Brody King. Hopefully they kind of keep it short. Don't overstay their welcome because, as I said, a long match, a long show, and there's going to be a lot of good matches, and a lot of matches I think deserve a lot of time. And this one, unfortunately, is not. Okada just continues to kind of spin his wheels with the Continental title. He's not with the Young Bucks anymore, or at least, right for now. We'll see when they come back, if they intermingle with Okada still. But like I said, should be a fine match, but I would just suspect it's a little time filler and Okada gets the win here. Then, screw it, I'll just go in order of what they have it on Wikipedia. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher in a steel cage. Ospreay got the win in an 8-man tag on Dynamite, and then we had a beatdown angle with Kyle Fletcher like a brainbuster type on a chair. So Osprey's probably gonna be selling his neck heading in to Revolution. And this should be another solid match. Kyle Fletcher has got the win there, 1-1, I believe. So this is going to be the rubber match at Revolution Steel Cage. It's AEW, so there's no exiting the cage. You got to win inside via pinfall or submission. And this one is up in the air. I think there's a lot of these matches that you could go either which way on the finish. And I think that also makes this show much better because you don't know where they're going to go, and the finishes kind of do mean something. Osprey continues to be one of the top guys in the company. Fletcher, a name on the rise. Still not completely sold on him being like a tippy top guy like I am with Osprey. So it's like, do you have just Osprey win so he continues to move the card and be a guy to face Moxley in a championship picture? Or do you really cement Kyle Fletcher as a guy and gets that win over Osprey? I think Osprey's been losing a lot in his pay-per-view matches. So I would have Osprey win here and kind of build his momentum up to go on to whatever he's going to do as we head into Double or Nothing into May. So that's my prediction, but I definitely could see them have Kyle Fletcher get the win here. Then we get a special singles match, was another match I'm excited to see. MJF and Hangman Adam Page, two of the cornerstones for AEW, going at it. Not for the first time, but first time in a long time. And they had on Dynamite, MJF cuts a promo in the backyard, or in the parking lot area, and then Hangman Page storms up, tries to beat him down, but MJF gave him the old okey doke and got one up on him. Then another dumb angle of AEW where MJF teased lighting Hangman on fire, but you knew that wasn't going to happen. So of course he pours lighter fluid, or what is suspected to be lighter fluid, and the security and referees actually did their job for the first time in a long time in wrestling, actually stopped a wrestler from doing something and carried MJF out of the arena. So yeah, I thought everything leading up to that angle was fine, but then, the fake, or the tease of setting Hangman on fire was dumb. Like MJF's whole point was like, the whole point of the story is MJF says he's not doing anything bad. He hasn't done anything, Hangman Page has done a lot of bad things, and yet the crowd still cheers for him. And in MJF's mind, he hasn't done anything nearly as bad as what Page has done, and yet the crowd still hates him. And so he was going to stoop down to Hangman's level and set him on fire, even though Hangman didn't set anybody on fire. He just set a house on fire, which is a whole nother ordeal that we don't really need to talk about right now. But speaking of a house burning down, well, I guess I got to go to the predictions. Moxley is the champion. I would suspect him to be, a champion for a little bit. Spoiler alert, I don't think Adam Copeland's going to win this title, but now that I said that, he's definitely going to win. So it's like, do you have MJF win to kind of have that secondary heel to kind of face off against the other top baby faces? But Hangman Page is a name that could go up and be the ultimate guy to dethrone Jon Moxley. So I can definitely see them going either way here. I'm gonna go with MJF to get the win. I'm not sold on that, not convicted that that's definitely gonna happen, but I'll put my money on MJF for now. Then we have another singles match, but this one is also a number one contendership for the World Championship. And I wish AEW do this more often. Like, if you're gonna have all these different matches on a card, have one of them be for the number one contendership, or just in general in wrestling. I wish we had like more substantial number one contender matches. Like, we have them on, Raws and Dynamites from time to time, but usually it's kind of just like thrown together at the last minute. But this is a true build, a match that has been built up, and they even did it in a fun way to where Ricochet clearly did not want a rematch with Swerve Strickland, but Swerve and Nana dangled the championship opportunity in his face, and so Ricochet had no choice but then to take the match with Swerve. And we also have the Prince Nana's robe, the NBC's robe, also in the mix here. And Ricochet basically teased and said that the robe's going to get messed up and he's going to make some changes to it. So look out for that on Sunday. And this is another match which could go either which way, but I mean, I'm pretty confident that Swerve is going to win here and regain the robe and also get number one contendership for that AEW title. I mean, maybe if Adam Copeland wins the championship and Ricochet, becomes the heel to go after him, that could happen. But oh, I mean, once again, Adam Copeland as a champion. Oh, I do not want that to be the case. Go to the women's division now. We got the AEW TBS Championship. Mercedes Moné defending against Momo Watanabe. This stems all the way back to the January 5th show where Momo won a little mini tournament, multi-person match to become the number one contender to any title of her choosing. And nope, she did not choose the AEW World title. She decided to choose the TBS title. So good on her for doing that, I guess. So minimal build here. I mean, you can't really do too much with Watanabe and Monet. It should be a fantastic match if given the time. I'm just going to continue saying that Monet, her character work has not been good, but her in-ring has been great, and this should not be no exception. And I also have no hesitation to say Mercedes is going to win this match. Once again, should be a really fun 10 to 20 minute match because Mercedes is getting a lot of time, but this is going to be the one of 9 main card matches and the second women's title match. So I would assume she's not going to get as much time as she's gotten with those Chris Statlander matches, but you never know. A lot of these matches for Tony Khan go on, I think, way too long. But this could be a match that you look back on it when we're sitting here doing the recap and it's like a 4.5 hour show and you're like, oh man, maybe they should have cut some time off that Monet match, but goddamn it was good. Moving on then, shocker, another championship match as we got the Hurt Syndicate, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin defending against the Outrunners, Turbo Floyd and Truth Magnum. This is for the tag team titles. This match I think shouldn't be that long. I think you just have it pretty straightforward, have the Outrunners get a couple hope spots in, but at the end of the day, the Hurt Syndicate get the win. So maybe we get a debut in Cedric Alexander. I doubt it because he probably has a 90-day no compete on there, but you never know. Maybe they tease it. So yeah, Hurt Syndicate, pretty clear winners here on this one. A little weird that they teased the Don Callis family to go after them, Brian Cage and Lance Archer, and that would have positioned the Hurt Syndicate clearly as baby faces, and yet they go with the okey doke, and it turns out to be the Outrunners to be the number one contenders. So once again, we get pretty lovable baby faces going up against the Hurt Syndicate, who are kind of cool heels, and the crowd likes to cheer their theme song, and they like to see them hurt people. So, yeah, it would be interesting to see what the crowd reaction is going to be here. I think it's going to be like a more both these guys type of reaction than clear on one side or the other. But like I said, Hurt Syndicate, I think, is a pretty obvious winner here. Then we get a Falls Count Anywhere match for the AEW Women's World Championship. Timeless Toni Storm defending her title against Mariah May. They had a sit-down interview with Renee Young on Dynamite, and I thought it was pretty good. They kind of went very dramatic, especially the Mariah May side of things. Kind of came a little bit out of nowhere because we've been building this match up for quite a long time, or not this match in particular, but this feud's been going on for quite a long time, and Mariah just kind of like poured her emotions out on Toni Storm, and it's kind of a little different than what she's been doing this entire time. Like for the most part, it was like, oh, Mariah never really cared about Toni Storm, and she was just using her, and she's always been the best. But then now this time, Mariah kind of, whether it was fake or not, kind of showed a little bit more emotion and gratitude towards Toni. So it was kind of, a little weird in that promo. But this one, I mean, Toni Storm did just win the title, so I don't think they're going to hot potato it back and forth. So I think you just have Toni Storm get the win here. It does suck because I think Mariah May is really talented, but Toni Storm is over, and she's one of the most over female wrestlers they have in AEW, and I think you don't want to really mess around with that. So I think you just have Toni Storm get the win here. Then the penultimate match, according to Wikipedia, we got the singles match for the AEW International Championship, which knows Konosuke Takeshita defending against Kenny Omega, and didn't do too much in terms of promotion on Dynamite here, but Kenny did cut a promo on Collision. They've done some stuff back and forth. A little bit of like a hype package on Dynamite, but I would assume that's going to be fuller video package from the Countdown to Revolution, like the little uh, thing they put together after Collision on Saturday. Um, the story going into this one is that Takeshita has Kenny Omega's number. He beat Omega twice in 1 week, and Kenny Omega's coming back uh from the intestinal issue. So, he's had a few matches here and there, but this is definitely like his big comeback outside of the Gabe Kidd match in Japan, his big comeback in AEW. So, there's a story of, does Omega still have it? Can he finally get over the hump, climb the mountain that is Konosuke Takeshita, and slay the dragon that he wasn't able to do when he was quote unquote healthy before the I'm just completely blanking on what the hell he had. Diverticulitis. There we go. Before he had the diverticulitis spell, but maybe since he's past that, maybe he is healthier. And this match, this should be a fantastic match. As much as the Kyle Fletcher Will Ospreay match should be good, I do think the steel cage is going to kind of hinder them, especially Ospreay and his high flying ability, kind of being able to like run around outside the ring and all that other good fun stuff. These two, no cage to restrict them. They can do all the crazy shit they want, and this should be a phenomenal match. I mean, we just saw this take place on Raw with Io Sky, taking advantage and once again beating Rhea Ripley for the fourth time. Can Takeshita do it again? Whew. I think he does. I think Takeshita gets the win here, and he retains the international championship. But the only thing that I'm thinking about is there is rumor and innuendo that maybe they combined the international and the continental championships in a rumored match for All in Texas is Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada. So do you do Okada Omega title for title in Texas? That could be the play here. But I'm gonna go with the Don Callis family going 1-1. I think I don't want to say that's a guarantee, but I don't think they're going to go 0-2 at Revolution. I think they're at least going to get one win here. And I think you give Ospreay the win because I think he kind of needs it a little bit more. Omega just kind of returned. You can tell the story of him kind of being down in the dumps and questioning his ability. So I think Takeshita gets the win here and retains I keep doing it, the International Championship. Then in the main event, I've already kind of tipped my hand a little bit here. Jon Moxley, Adam Copeland for the AEW World title. Copeland and Wheeler Yuta had a match on Dynamite, and it was fine. Copeland got the win, and Moxley came out to chastise Wheeler Yuta. Wheeler Yuta wasn't having any of it, and he walked away. Moxley tried to run him down, but he just got abandoned from Yuta. So it seems as though Moxley is going to be alone in this one until like a new person from the Death Riders debuts and attacks Copeland. But this match does not really excite me, so I hope they don't gotta get overindulgent on the time. It's 2025 and we got a Dean Ambrose versus Edge main event for the AEW Championship. And that's no knock on Moxley. That's definitely more of a knock on Copeland. But I just, as much as I'm not enjoying or like not really feeling what the Death Riders are doing on AEW from a week to week basis, and yes, they are kind of like the main point of the show, I still would have more faith in a Moxley title run culminating in something to lose to Darby Allin or Hangman Page or Kazuchika Okada even, than a Copeland babyface run, and then he just ends up dropping it, to Christian because he cashed in that contract thing, or he loses to MJF or something. So, the as much as I'm down on the Death Riders right now, I'm even more down on Copeland. So, I'm just gonna. This is more of a want than a prediction, but I'm just gonna say Moxley gets the win here. Match will be fine. They probably do some dumb shit, even though this not a hardcore match, but there might be some hardcore elements with a ref bump or something. But yeah, I'm gonna pick with Moxley to get the win here to retain and continue on to be the AEW World Champion. Tony Khan loves his surprises, loves his returns. I don't really have anything for what that could entail. I mean, Bryan Danielson's still out there. Is he going to come back? Who knows? Is he going to stay retired? Christian still has that contract for a title match. Will he cash it in? Will they do the old okey doke of, Copeland gets the win, but then that same time, Christian Cage comes out, cashes in his Money in the Bank contract or whatever the hell it's called, and he pins Copeland right there on the spot. I am fearing that is a major possibility, but once again, I'm even more down on a Christian Cage AEW world title reign, even if it would be for like a week or two. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go with Moxley to get the win here and continue on as champion. Oh, there's Phillip. Phil's back. He said he doesn't have anything for AEW, so I guess we'll just close out the show.
Wow, Brandon, you recapped that so well.
I thank you. I recapped it, and I also gave you a preview to Revolution. All the matches, all the stipulations.
Oh, Jesus Christ. The podcast is 5 hours now.
Exactly.
Just like this is shorter than AEW pay-per-view, though.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I don't want the AEW crumbheads to come for me. Ladies and gentlemen,
sickos.
The sickos.
Oh, also one thing. I forget what her something Aura, the ring announcer for Collision.
Rita Ora?
No,
that's a pop star. Jesus, I'm sorry.
She has one of the worst names in like wrestling.
I mean, her last name is Aura. Does she have Aura?
Okay, God damn it! I'm trying to.
No.
Well, that's the point. Is so she's like, Kadri Aura.
Okay.
Is that her name? I don't know. Anyways, she's the ring announcer for Collision. So she also doubles as the MC, while we're in commercials and like doing stuff. And I know it's 2,000 people there. It's kind of a weird position to be in, but she's not good. She's not good.
What did she do?
It's just awkward. It's just
like
very
what?
awkward.
Like what? Explain. Elaborate.
Just like, oh, come on, guys. Do we got any signs in the crowd? And it's also kind of. It's also like, WWE does a very good job of like having production along with all this stuff where it's just kind of her talking into the mic. But I think it's also just, I want my girl Dasha Fuentes to come back. She got released. This is bullshit. She was so multi-talented. She was the secondary ring announcer, and she was the commentator for the Spanish table. Goddamn shame they released my girl Dasha Fuentes.
I mean, that's really the biggest fumble in AEW.
Or Dasha Curate, whatever her name was.
We're talking about all these people. I liked her in WWE, and enjoyed her in AEW, and then they just got rid of her.
Yep, for Arcady Aura. Arcady Aura, I think that's what that is. Arcady Aura.
Bastards.
From Nevada County, California, which I did not know that's a place.
Yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Wrld Pro is this week in Los Angeles, California, Baldwin Park. I'm going to be out there. Journey Fatu, Sonico, Titus Alexander, Sandra Boone, Bad Dude Tito, Che Cabrera, and all your other favorites are going to be down there. Come say what's up. And then Sunday, Bay versus the World. Yes, I said Bay versus the what, Brandon? The what?
The Wrld. Is this the first incarnation?
It's the third incarnation.
Oh.
Yes. There's going to be a Future Stars of NorCal Battle Royal. There's going to be a lumberjack match between former THC members Chima and Midas Creed. Not to mention what else we got on here. The main event, Super Crazy versus Titus Alexander, I believe, or that's one of the premier main events. There are multiple main events. The first ever Pacific Seas champion will be crowned in a ladder match. Brett the Threat versus Fatal versus Josefa Parisi versus Sonico versus Kenny K versus Vinny Massaro. Second generation match. The son of Damien 666, Bestia 666 will go up against Journey Fatu. And not to mention, you got a trios match, Starboy Charlie and the world's freshest tag team versus the Mel and the Mafia. You don't want to miss that Cornerstone. It is this weekend. Doors are at 5. From 5 to 5:45. There is going to be a meet and greet with all the talent. The show starts at 6. Y'all don't want to miss it, man. We do this, we do this very, very well. So yeah, come on out, man. Thank y'all so much. As always, be safe and stay dangerous.
West Coast, we moving on. Metaphor Messiah, microphone Messiah. The down to the wire. Mr. No Days Off. This is the feeling. Know what we dealing. Let's get it on. Yeah, it's the bullet cast. Microphone Messiah. Mr. No Days Off. It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off. It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off. It's the bullet cast, the microphone messiah, Mr. No Days Off.